Good to have you with us at 4 o'clock here on 13 News. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we're going to get to those headlines in a little bit, plus an eerie story involving a family who checked into an Airbnb. They found a very familiar photo inside.
A photo of them. Yeah, a photo of themselves. How creepy is that? And the picture was from a decade ago, more than a decade ago. We've got the explanation ahead this hour. But let's begin here at 4 o'clock with the weather. Our team's been tracking rain and storm chances all afternoon. Sean's here now with the latest.
Yeah, timing's everything here. So this boundary came in slower. It kind of didn't give us much rain this morning, and then everything kind of set up just south of us. So we just missed rain, probably our best chance of rain for the next week. However, the front that's causing what you see south of us eventually gives us a relief from the real hot air that we've been on the stretch run. Let me show you what's happening though. As expected from a timeline, we said everything by 4 o'clock would be out of our viewing area, and that's the case. Boy, the Kentuckiana getting blasted right now with severe wind, flash flooding. They've had some reports of tornadoes as well across parts of north central Kentucky. For us, if you've been outside, you probably have noticed that northwest wind now is rather gusty. I'm not going to say we're going to be completely dry this evening, but whatever we see is going to be very spotty, very quick in nature, and likely won't amount to much. Temperatures, hot day. We got up to 91 in Indy, 90 right now in Shelbyville. You can see the wind, again, coming from the northwest. Heat indices have made it into the mid-90s because we have dew points that were in the 70s. This time tomorrow, however, you are going to feel it. Daytime highs will be a good 15 degrees cooler than what we have right now, but we'll have to get through the next several hours. Here's a view from downtown at the stations. We look south down Meridian. There's that gusty wind up to 30 plus, 89. The dew point in Indy has dropped to 65. At noontime today, it was at 75. So it should be a rather pleasant, warm evening with that wind going to be gusty as we talked about. If you're heading to baseball tonight, it is dollar menu night. If you're going to Everwise for the Jack White show, 8 o'clock, I'll call it a pleasant evening here because the muggy meter will continue to drop. We'll let you know how low we'll go and how long it's going to stick around ahead in the forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. An update now on a story we have covered a lot lately. For so many Indiana families, finding affordable child care can be such a hurdle.
So today, Governor Mike Braun visited a local child care center and heard from parents. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker was there as the governor laid out his plan to help.
Welcome.
Good to be
We're
here.
the rhinos.
Little people using little tables and little chairs. But the debate over funding child care centers like this one on Indy's east side is a big one.
We appreciate all that the administration did to help with getting more funding for CCDF.
Yep.
That's critical for our families.
It's going to be a priority going forward.
Tuesday afternoon, Shepherd Community Early Learning Scholars provided the backdrop for a discussion about that issue. With a visit from Governor Mike Braun to the center that provides child care for kids ages 6 weeks to 4 years.
It's an infrastructure issue. These kids are our future.
In 2025, though, Indiana reduced spending on its child care voucher program, reducing access for some families, like this mom whose child was on a wait list for a voucher.
And it was a struggle.
That decision drew criticism from child care providers and advocates who argued the state was moving backward on access at a time when many working families were already struggling to afford care. Tuesday, the governor heard from her and other working moms who don't make enough to pay for child care on their own, so they get money to help from the state's Child Care Development Fund.
And without CCDF, it really would not even be possible. And so I'm very grateful for the funding that I do have with that.
In April, the State Budget Committee approved transferring $200 million into the child care voucher program. According to the state, that money helped an additional 14,000 more children, but thousands more remain on a wait list. Tuesday, Governor Braun said he plans to ask lawmakers to provide more funding for child care, pointing to a recent announcement that Indiana has a $4 billion surplus.
We need to do better, and now that we're going to have the resources to invest in it in other areas, and I think there's going to be an appetite among the legislators to do so.
The governor said he also plans to ask businesses to chip in too by providing them incentives.
And I think the more we get it done, the more it's going to enhance our economy even further. So,
for the parents you see here, the new commitment is welcome, But providers say the challenge now is making sure funding keeps pace with the families who still need help. On the East Side, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
The Defense Department says it needs more money to pay for the ongoing war with Iran.
Secretary Pete Hegseth appeared on Capitol Hill today for a hearing about it. Lee Wellman has the latest.
Every night we're degrading them further and further, and the president has all the options necessary. If they want to talk, they can talk. Otherwise, they can deal with the War Department.
A stern warning from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ahead of his testimony before lawmakers in Congress. The Trump administration is lobbying members of Congress for tens of billions of dollars to fund the ongoing war, which has stretched on for nearly 5 months. Today, President Donald Trump vowed the fighting would continue.
They want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest. Honestly, they haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice.
Secretary Hegseth's hearing appearance comes amid reporting that the Pentagon has been slow to discuss injuries to troops. In a post on X, the Pentagon's top spokesperson, Sean Parnell, said while nearly 100 service members have been injured since July 7th, 96% have returned duty. The Defense Casualty Analysis System has become the primary official source for the number of U.S. casualties in the conflict. A CNN review appears to show significant delays in updates. Officials have said the delay is intended to protect service members.
This is a frightening situation, and yeah, they have not been telling us what's been happening in terms of lost equipment, in terms of the cost of the war, and certainly in terms of the service members who have been wounded.
I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
And today, 4 juveniles are in police custody after leading troopers on a chase along I-70 near Mount Comfort. Well, that chase ended in a crash. It happened around 1:45 this morning. Indiana State Police were pursuing a stolen Kia when they say the driver crashed into a concrete median. Troopers say 4 young people ran from the crash but were later found. They were all taken into custody. This investigation is ongoing.
A new partnership announced today between the NFL and the federal government, and it aims to get young people engaged in sports and grow up healthy. They all gathered here in Indianapolis, there they are, to launch that project today. Current and former NFL players were there, officials from Housing and Urban Development, Health and Human Services, the Department of Education, and Labor too. They say they're going to work together, all of them, to collaborate on connecting kids here in the city to sports, academic success, health, and job opportunities. And the goal is generational change.
Anytime kids are involved in sports and athletics, it just brings in discipline and hard work and skills that are applicable to so many other things in life. It really builds character, and that's what we want to do by teaming with the other federal agencies through this memorandum of understanding. We're going to be able to pull those things together and really try to facilitate that type of activity in a lot of the public housing we have.
Organizers say their programs are going to be structured to meet kids where they are, and from here these groups will be working together to identify program sites. So more to come as they piece this whole thing together, a public-private partnership with some very big goals. Sounds exciting.
Very exciting it sounds. That's wonderful. Well, tomorrow, the Fever will be back on the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and we have new video today. This is the team practicing. The ladies are looking to extend back-to-back wins. They will face the Sun. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Meantime, though, Caitlin Clark has just been named the WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week. This is after her record-setting performance. Clark became the first player in league history with 40-plus points and more than 10 assists in a game when the team played against Storm on the 17th. And of course, don't forget, because we are your local TV home of the Indiana Fever, and you can watch tomorrow's game right here on WTHR. And then after tomorrow's game, we're going to pick things back up after the All-Star break. And you can see our full broadcast schedule on your screen and on WTHR.com/fever.
So Caitlin Clark's pretty good, huh?
That's what the folks are saying.